Channa, you've been putting out these videos,
Uh-huh.
and I know you're getting a lot of feedback.
Lot
Let's
of
just say
heat.
a lot of heat. Well, that's what you want in a video, don't you?
That's
Yeah,
right.
a little
You,
bit.
know, you want a little bit of conversation, right?
Controversy, generates
Oh yeah, that's a great song.
interaction.
Controversy.
Well, if you just say what everybody already thinks, right? You want to play it really safe. You want to just say what everybody's already knows. Well, what is there to say? They're like, yep, we already knew that.
I mean, look, I don't. And you know what's funny? Like, I really want to.
What do you really?
I really want to say that like, God, some people are just fucking stupid, but it's not that. It's not that they're stupid.
Man.
I know. Sasha's like, you can't be that mean in the comments. I'm like, okay, fine.
For real.
A lot of the people on today's newest video, like this one guy was like, oh, you're saying this just so you can get 100,000 subscribers and you don't have in-ceiling speakers, so that's why you don't like them. I'm like, no, unsubscribe. And I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, no, you don't get it all. I have 2 setups in my home. And then I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, do I have to tell this all the time? Mm-hmm. Do I have to say, I started off with 512, with height channels that are half the distance to my main listening position than my front stage. Then I moved to 514 and it's a great jump. And then I built the 714 down here, and I was just like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff I'm hearing here that I don't hear upstairs. Like, it's like, shit, do I need to, like, you guys are just gonna get bored in that section. Maybe just skip. Maybe I'll just be like the boring wrap up in the little timestamps, and you guys can just skip it or something, because I know like all you guys have what do you call it? You guys have heard my story the whole time, and there's just a lot of people that haven't. So yeah, dude's like, oh, unsubscribe. Like, dude, subscribe, unsubscribe. I don't care. Whatever. This is what it is. Listen, watch the slideshow video, and then he comes back with this. It's like, you need to talk to Steve. I'm like, yeah.
I invited him. I actually invited him.
Yeah, no.
Hey, be on here, and say, let's just look at it from all the different perspectives. I mean, I don't care about being wrong. Like, if I'm wrong, then correct me. You know what I mean? That's fine. I don't feel that bad if I'm wrong about speaker placement. Come on now.
You should feel bad, Joe.
Tristan, I love you, man. You come quick. Come quick with it, dude.
But yeah, I invited him on, and he just said he doesn't feel that comfortable doing the live stuff. And I said, come on, man. I mean,
who is this?
You make home theater gurus.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I invited him on Channa's in the comment section.
Yeah,
he said he wasn't really comfortable, but maybe I could talk to him on the phone, because it's not like that. I don't think it's not, oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong. We're comparing notes. He could be right in certain aspects. Like, I don't know that people know, but you can both be right and both be wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not either or. You can be right in one scenario, you can be right in a different scenario.
I mean, look, we all kind of talk about the same things. AA said Elon Osborne just put out an Atmos video to show the benefits of 4 on ceiling in corners. And what's funny is I have a clip from my live stream that talks about the same thing. The difference between 4 height channels and 2 height channels.
Well, he mentioned,
I'm like, oh, what's that?
Did you watch it? You watched it?
His?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched his.
Oh yeah, because he mentioned you. He mentioned your video.
No. I said, hey, I commented, hey, I made the video. Thanks so much, man. I'm like, I have a clip from a live stream that's going to be, put out in a week or two, about the same topic. But then you've covered the same topic. I've covered the same topic years ago when I did the when I did my upgrade from 2 height channels to 4 height channels. So it's not like,
let's kind of fill people in who may not know exactly what you're talking about.
What I'm talking
about the height thing, the placement of the speakers. So I know you've said it a million times, but I was telling Reverend Slim, it seems like we're saying it over and over because we have to, right?
Yeah,
there's gonna be people on here like, what are they talking about? Like, I haven't seen the video. Many people have, but some people have.
Well, should I get the slideshow? Mm-hmm. It's on my other laptop, though.
Well, just can you just quickly describe what is the issue that you found?
Okay. You know what? I can just pull up the video, can't I?
You can.
I could do that.
You can't play it. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, we're stealing from Techno Death.
Eric says, just let the haters go and subscribe. I'm like, just like I said in the, because I was kind of ranting in my live stream. I'm like, look, dude, like, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. Like, this is
what you want. You're like, do what you want.
Do what you want. Yeah. I mean, it's your world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, right? I forget what movie that was.
Sometimes I wonder if people are actually listening or watching. Do they even watch the video?
Like sometimes I don't even think they watch the video. Yeah, I think some people just like they might see one part and then just stop.
I'll show you an example. I posted this today on my community page. Just to give you an example. So I posted this, right? YouTube Premium, and I was just basically saying like, hey, I think it's totally worth it because I watch a ton of YouTube videos, right? Mm-hmm. I spend more time watching YouTube videos than any of the other services that I also pay for. Disney Plus, I watch YouTube more than all these other ones. And so I'm just saying I don't want to see ads, right? It's worth it for me to pay the $12 for me. And I get YouTube Music, and I made a video a long time ago about canceling Spotify so I could watch, or I could listen to music on YouTube Music.
Yeah.
And anyway, they have a promotion right now where it's 99 cents for 3 months. Like if you've never signed up, you can try it for 3 months for 99 cents, right? All right, cool. Right? That's it. That's basically what I'm saying. But at the end, I said, P.S. For those of you who use illegitimate third-party apps and ad blockers to do the same thing, because there are apps that do that, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to watch the ads because you just download this app. I said, good for you. Enjoy your savings, but just keep it off the comment section. That's it. I'm just saying, don't promote the other apps.
Is that what they're doing? They're promoting the other apps?
No, I'm just saying because I know from my previous video on YouTube Music that people are like, I don't watch YouTube. I don't pay for it because I just use this app. I just use this ad blocker. Okay, cool. Right? No problem.
Don't
do it on this particular one because it's not the right place.
Is it a thing that people just some people just don't want to pay for stuff? Is that it
fine.
too?
That's fine. Okay.
Like
Maybe you can't afford it, That's fine.
You can't. No, look, dude. I am blessed beyond blessed, and like even this last year, it's been an indication that prices are going up. I'm doing well, so I don't mind paying for something, especially like what is it, 99 cents for 3 months?
Yeah, and then it
goes to $9, maybe $10.
Okay, but look at this. I don't get this though. You're refusing constructive criticism in your comment section on your opinion of YouTube Premium while stating it's not the place for it. Come on, man. You can't aggressively shill like that while refusing to take backlash. It looks spoiled and childish. I'm like, I'm not. You can say it sucks. You can say I tried it and it sucks. All right, cool.
Right.
Let me know. But I think he took the part where I said don't promote illegitimate apps as somehow like, I don't understand where he's coming from. And this guy too. I appreciate the time it takes you to make these videos. I don't appreciate the lecture. I find it somewhat amusing that you can peddle a subscription service but announce that you're not willing to discuss it.
Right.
When did I say that? You can discuss it all you want. You can say, here's a bit of reality. Your channel is meaningless in the grand scheme of your viewers' lives. Is not.
Is that what somebody wrote?
Wow. I didn't even see that.
Your channel is about your opinion on HiFi equipment is pure time filler. The fact that you choose to make a little blah, 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 I'm pretty confident my life is going to go on and I'm not going to miss you when it's time to say goodbye to you. And that time has come. Whoa. Feel free to delete it. Okay, so hold up a second. Let me tell you. Hey, let me tell you something. All right. If it was just me on YouTube, I wouldn't subscribe either. What are you talking about? I subscribe because Youthman and Techno Dad's on there and everybody else. All right. It's not. Yeah. If it was just me, I wouldn't pay for anything. I probably wouldn't even watch YouTube. I'm tired of seeing myself. I have to edit my videos, So I don't know what is this guy talking about?
Wow.
What is he talking about?
It's not an airport. No need to announce your departure.
That's
Bye.
Right.
I guess my point is,
Bye, Felicia.
This guy even read what I said?
Yeah.
You did. Right.
That's the problem, right? The problem is,
I was like, as I was feverishly typing my response to this one other person, I'm like, you know what, this asshole is not even going to read it. Like, they're not even going to read it. They're not going to. They didn't watch the video. I just said, like, I don't think. Well, I said the home theater guru guy is just wrong. That's all I said. It's not always about the angles. Like, so he probably just saw that and got fucking triggered. And it was just like, oh, you just said this to get 100,000 subscribers. Dude, I had 100,000 subscribers before I started making these Atmos videos. like, what are you talking about?
Let's get into it, though. Let's get it. So,
all right.
First of all, I think that people aren't watching. I think they're reading the title and they they think they have an idea what you're going to say. They're not really listening, and so they comment right away. Right? They're not listening. So let's discuss it. Right? Let's discuss what it is. In very and we'll end it. You know what I mean? Okay. We don't have to keep talking about it over and over.
Share screen, Chrome tab, in ceiling versus height. Okay, here we go. Can I do it like this? Is that better?
Okay.
All the stuff is gone on.
All right. We'll make it quick.
All right. So this is the Dolby. I got this from Dolby, right? And basically it's just the side view, and this is the room boundary, right? And this is what I use. This is the Atmos renderer. And, basically what it is trying to, we have to correlate these two things. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of miss. So if we overlay the two, we have a speaker boundary and we have a room boundary. Now, the problem is here, this is just showing you how off these things are. Like if I put a sound in the, front left, now front right, it's these little green balls, right? Or green circles. But if we overlay that and I play a sound, that's not where the speaker is, right? So the room boundary actually, so like my Atmos creation is in this little area, whereas the whole room boundary is what people are always like looking at. So this was kind of the thing. Okay. So now I gotta my camera's in the way here. Okay. All right. So here's the main thing. So we've got the Atmos, what is this called? Atmos renderer. And then we've got Dolby's set up here with the height channel. So the main thing here is that I can see is that we are missing these two sections when you're using the height channels. And majority of people, like I understand if 7 and 8 here were pointed down and they have a wide dispersion, maybe they'll get some of the sounds in these blank spaces. But for the most part, a lot of you are using like directional height ceiling or in ceiling speakers that are pointed to your main listening position. And so, if we're going back to now my Atmos view, and I put a sound in the corner there, and then we again take away and then add the other diagrams that are all lined up, like where's this sound going to go? Like you won't hear the sound where I place
7 and 8. It's going to go to 7 and 8.
Yeah. Right. And so I put in some other where they are. It could be here. Right. Okay. Yeah. Or it could be one of those spots. Now I put them in different colors because think about it in this way. I've always said your home theater experience is like based on your this thing's still playing. Your home theater experience is based on your room correction. So imagine if your AVR or pre-pro places it in the yellow spot, maybe that's like a very expensive AVR with good room correction. And the orange one is, there's like the yellow one's like a $3,000 plus AVR or pre-pro. And then the orange one is a $1,500. And then the red one is just in the wrong place. And it's because it's like a $500 receiver. We don't know because Dolby's not telling us any of this stuff, right? Like how does each AVR company, is it all the same? Is it different? I don't know. We don't know.
Here's the thing is you ask the question, but you have a setup that's more similar to this, you have two different setups basically.
I have two.
Can you tell us about those two setups?
Okay. So, upstairs in the living room, my setup is like this with 7 and 8, pretty much. 8's a little bit closer to the main listening position. My side surrounds, but my front stage is 14 feet away and my height channel is 7 feet away. So it's half the distance. So I So basically what ended up happening was in this video, I'm trying to remix some Atmos, right? Make some Atmos music stuff. And there's an arpeggio. Arpeggio, for those that don't know, if you take a chord is 3 notes. And if you play each chord note separately, that's an arpeggio. So like C major is like C, E, G, right?
All
so
right, we know you know
okay.
what's
Okay, so basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go front left height, over to the right, front height, right
straight
front,
up. So
and then
the point being, you're
so I'm
trying to go
going
straight
boop,
up.
boop, boop. So I'm
So-
trying to make the sound go straight up, across,
Okay.
and straight down. Okay.
Okay.
And then so in thinking about that, and in here in the studio, I have my height channels above my front stage. I have my rear heights above my surround backs. They're like maybe like, I don't know, 6 inches behind, but they're pretty much on par with this diagram here. And so when I'm making this music here and listening to it here, I ran upstairs and I'm like, oh my God, my voice travels from the front height diagonally through the room. Sorry, from a front left diagonally through the room to the front left height. Whereas here in the studio, the sound goes straight up like I intended it to. So that is the difference. When I'm trying to make the sound go directly straight up, upstairs in my living room, it goes diagonally through the room. So I made a video talking about all this and an interactive Atmos demo for everybody to listen and follow along. And the majority of people said yes, they heard exactly what I was predicting. Now, the funny part is I already knew the answer. I just wanted to see how many people would actually hear that in their living room.
Hear it or admit it.
Hear it or admit it. And then like another thing is
they wouldn't know because they don't have something to compare it to, right?
Correct.
So unless they had the speakers in the other location, it seems like it's kind of going up, I don't know, straight up, I don't know. But unless they have something to compare it to, like you do, they wouldn't know that it's not.
And again, it's like me having to say, oh, I started off with a 512. Then I went to 514. There's much better Atmos. And then I built this 714 down here. And I was like, wait a second. There's stuff in the surrounds that are doing something wonky because I only have 5 ear level speakers upstairs. But then here now with this setup, trying to do that thing where I'm going vertically with the sound, it's weird. It sounds weird on my other setup upstairs. So yeah, I already knew the answer because these are things I'm hearing. And I've heard this stuff for years, right? I've been talking about this for years. Bodie McBoatface, Billy P, he says, Techno Dad, I love how you presented your point this time. The other times you came off as intense and angry. I know. And the reason why I come off intense and angry is because, dude, do you know how much the system costs upstairs? Like, holy shit. It's fucking expensive. Like it what happened?
No, I just say.
Oh, yeah, no,
it's getting heated.
It's expensive. And to think that like, Dolby's marketing department is telling us like, hey, this is the new thing. It doesn't matter what speaker system you have. You can have 312, 512, 514, whatever. You're good. You're fine. And I'm learning over these, 2016, 2017 is when I got Atmos. All these years for the last 5-6 years, like it's not everything they promised.
Well, I think you're getting like that because you know that you're up against Dolby and that marketing machine. You have to be kind of loud, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, their message has been spread. They paid a lot of money for that message to propagate, and so you're one guy, right?
Me, one guy. Yeah.
Well, that's not how it works, right? And so you're kind of yelling a little bit.
Yes. I am yelling a little bit. I mean, because one of the things from this video, which was last week released, I don't know. I can drop a link. I think a lot of the viewers here already know. So the main thing a lot of people were talking about, okay, if we're going to do heights, front heights and rear heights, what is it? Like, how are we going to get a convincing overhead? And so that's simple. You put a speaker overhead as well, right? And then I think that's somewhere over here. Oh, yeah. It's Wilfried. Wilfried shows his ugly head in here again. So again, here, this is what we're trying to do. This is what I was saying. Like, all these sounds will be replicated with front height and rear height much better than in ceiling on, as it's in the right like placement. But for the most part, I think having a center height in here that's an in ceiling or on ceiling is probably going to be the way to go, right? So which in essence is an Oro 3D setup, right? But if we're talking about Atmos, we get a third row of heights. So yes, more speakers, I know.
Okay. And so here's the comment that I saw a lot on your video, which was, well, your mixing setup there is not set up like a studio, right? Like the spec that they have for a studio. So that's the problem, right? And what's your response to that?
My response
about the headphones and not even needing the headphones.
Oh yeah. Actually, so in the live stream I did Wednesday, I think, when I'm creating Atmos and in the Atmos renderer plugin, it says monitoring format. And I can choose 5.1, 7.1, 5.4, 7.4. But literally, that's just the way I'm listening to it. So Dolby Atmos, as far as panning sounds from left to right, up and down, front to back, all of that is visual. You don't need an actual studio to make it, right? To make that happen, to make all those effects happen. Sure, you might need a studio to balance the levels, make sure everything sounds appropriate volume-wise, because you don't want the talking to be too loud. You don't want this explosion to be super loud or super quiet or whatever in relation to talking and this, that, and the other. So that's the thing. Like all these, dude, there's this awesome photo of this amazing Atmos all-white studio that like Brad Pitt had put together in France and whatever. Oh, amazing video. Super cool looking studio. But dude, the front stage, higher than all the other ear level speakers. The front stage and the front height, front left and front height speakers, maybe a foot in between. So all the people that talk about smearing. So like people are making Atmos studios and not really caring about the Atmos PDF as far as like speaker placement. And at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter because it's all done in the box. Like the computer does it. So you can listen.
The answer I was trying to get was about, you're saying you listen on binaural. You don't even have to listen at all because you're going based on the visual, right?
Yeah.
The visual representation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I can make it
go up. It should go straight up. And when you listen to binaural, you told me that in the binaural, the Dolby
binaural renderer. Yeah.
All right. It goes straight up. So if it doesn't go straight up, which it doesn't for a lot of people who have it set up in recommended Atmos, home setup. I want to be specific.
Yeah.
It doesn't go straight up. It comes up and towards you. That's what people were saying in the comments, right? Many people were saying that. And so there's a disconnect there. And I think I have an idea what it is. And I've spoken with Reverend Slim about this. We talked about 2 hours one day. And this relates to what Juan is saying, Technodad. What people need to understand is that Oro 3D as well as Atmos layout speakers are not located by distance, but by angles. Angles determine where the speakers go based on the room size. And yes, but Oro 3D has more specifications as far as the heights can't be closer to you than the corresponding ear level speaker. So Atmos doesn't have that requirement that I've seen. It doesn't say like how far it could be, so in Oro, the height speaker should be above the corresponding ear level speaker, right? That's not an angle necessarily. That's a placement thing, right? Atmos, from what I see, is based on angles, but because they're not telling you where the speaker needs to be, then you have an issue where you can have the right angle, but if it's a certain size room, you may perceive that the sound will go from the front speaker to your front left height speaker, and it sounds like it's coming towards you, even if you have the correct angle. Now, how much difference? I mean, we're nitpicking, right? We're nitpicking because the fact that it comes up and towards you versus straight up. What does that mean in the real world? I don't know. Maybe if Channa spent a lot of time making it sound like a certain way, though.
And that's the thing. Like some of these effects take hours to make, and I'm sitting there tediously cutting up the audio, moving it here, moving it there, cutting more, cutting all the audio into 16ths, making 6 separate channels, panning and moving all, like, this takes a lot of time. And I work graveyard, like I have a graveyard shift tonight, and like I'm just kind of messing around with it. And then I'm like, oh man, only like 30 to 40% of you are actually going to hear it that way. And so, it's tough because of what Dolby has told everybody about it. I'm like, okay, well, if Dolby's telling everybody this, and what I'm experiencing is just not adding up to this, and people are spending $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 on this home theater, when all the recommended speaker layouts are kind of not really right per se, as opposed to what kind of Atmos experience you're going to get. Like 100%, like Boy Genius, perfect example on today's video. He said, I'm an 80%er and I'm totally fine with that. Meaning he has Atmos, but it's not in the ideal place. And he sees what I'm talking about, and he can't do that in his space. So he's like, I'm going to roll with 80% Atmos, and that's it. And I know, Mike, you always talking about just enjoying what you have and all this. And like upstairs in my living room, yeah, it's like an 80% Atmos theater.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I get all the bass. I get a lot of the spatial cues, but things are off. Things are off. Like I listen to the same thing in here and down and upstairs, and I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
And like the system in here costs a lot less.
I think it's true though. I think we are nitpicking because will somebody still enjoy the experience? Yeah. Right. If there's a helicopter, whether it's going in the corners and further out, but I think you're coming at it from a creator's perspective. And what you said is like, I don't want to color if I can color all the way on the outside, I want to be able to color all the way on the outside, not confined to this.
Exactly.
Bubble.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people have said that. Well, you're forgetting about the Dolby bubble. I'm like, well, dude, just making, you're cutting. What was the how much space, Joe? You said you.
That's like about half. You putting a hemisphere inside of a square, you're getting close to like half the amount of space that you could possibly use. And for us, so here's where I think is actually happening. And this is from Reverend Slim. From our conversation, this is what he said, and it made sense to me. He's our Atmos kind of expert. He reads all the papers and stuff like that, right? And so what he said was that the renderer, all of this stuff was primarily for theatrical mixes, right? And so in a theater, it's kind of like, even though the visual is not perfect, right? The fact that you're so far from the front speaker that the distance between the front speaker and the height speaker, let's say, is kind of relatively small compared to, how far you are. So when something goes up and maybe towards you a little bit, it still sounds like it's going up in a theater. But at your house, because it's a smaller room, it doesn't sound like it's going straight up. It sounds like it's coming up and towards you. So I think that that's really true, that they've tailored that for a theatrical mix where the room is huge. We're talking about speaker arrays, right? Where you can't really pinpoint exactly where the sound is. There's just a ton of speakers. It's a whole different thing than a home system. But nowadays, folks like you and other content creators are mixing for, let's say, Apple Music or, some of these other formats. It's not going to a theater, right? It's going directly from your computer to a user at home, right? And for that, the renderer doesn't really make sense because it's not that. It should be a different shape. Maybe they should make it so, hey, if you're mixing for home, this is kind of like a different.
If they wanted a bubble, it should be a bubble.
It should be a bubble.
Right. A circle.
So I think that's where the disconnect is, right? Theater, huge theater with arrays of speakers is different from your house, right? And the experience that you'll have at the theater is different from what you're going to have at your house. And anyway, I think that that's where the disconnect is. And I think we just want to be clear, if that means that Dolby hears this and they're like, hey, you know what, these guys make sense. Why don't we just make it a round thing? Okay, cool.
I love it. That was happens, but yeah.
What do you have to say, Michael?
I'm just chilling over here, man. I've shared my thoughts.
He said enjoy what you have, right?
I've shared my thought. I invite y'all to come over and check out my system. I'm not saying it's perfect, far from perfect, and my rears are way too high. I know that.
Okay, well, I'm curious what you say, what you have to say about like what we just said about how the sound doesn't go exactly where Channa expects it to go, and he's the content creator. A lot of times we're talking about creator's intent. He's a creator. It's not
even though I hate that phrase. Yeah,
it's not doing what he intended.
Yeah.
So
I've shared my thoughts several times. I mean, it's the same discussion. It's one of those things where I've never once watched any movie. Now, maybe is it the artist's intent? I don't know. But I've never once watched a movie and heard, let's say, a helicopter fly over, or hear the monster that's coming down the stairs from A Quiet Place, and I go, man, I know that should be up there. That just sounds off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
that's just my thought. It's like, okay, and maybe it's one of those, you don't know what you don't know, but if what I'm seeing on screen is correlating to what my ears are hearing, then you tell me what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thought. So
okay, so we'll be specific then. In Channa's demo, he shows the ball, right, going from the front left speaker directly up. Okay, so there's the visual. If in your system it doesn't go straight up, but instead it comes up and towards you.
So send me a link to later on. Send me a link to the download.
Yeah,
because I went to your site and I added my email, but I never got like a link to the download.
Oh God, man. I don't know what's wrong with that. Like there's like a good like 5% of people that never get the like follow-up email or whatever.
Yeah, didn't send it. Yeah. So I just assumed it was like your newsletter.
Yeah, it's my newsletter.
You just hadn't sent out. Well, I'm just thinking maybe
it's on automatic. It's on automatic. If you're new,
I didn't get nothing.
You get the newest video and then the 3 like backup ones.
Okay. Shoot me a link to it or whatever. And like I said, I'll be glad
Kellen.
To check out of mine.
Kellen from Dream Media is in the house. All of you guys are welcome to my theater. He has a banging theater. That room is so big. Holy crap!
Yeah, he's got a big old theater room.
Yeah, with Focal like 1000 series. It's not cheap. Not cheap.
I finally met Kellen at the at CDA, man. I know it was quick, dude. I wish I could have hung out longer, but it was like, nice. Hey, man, I gotta head over here. Sorry.
Yeah, no, totally.
Dude, we were one after another.
Yeah, that's why I love the trade shows. But anyway, so back to the situation here. So again, a lot of this is stuff that we're only learning now because the tools are available. The tools are available. So a lot of you guys want me to try making some stuff in DTSX. So I'm trying to find somebody. Hopefully I can run into somebody at Xperry. Xperry is the parent company to DTSX. They have a booth at CES all the time, and that's where I go get the DTSX demos for the year. So I want to talk to them and be like, yo, can somebody what's up?
No, I was gonna say, you know what? Is there a way that maybe we can do a binaural demo of your specific demo? So somebody can put on some headphones and hear the difference. If you can move your speakers here in this room, right? Just maybe recalibrate the distance, right? In Dirac.
Okay.
Like just manually put it in.
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, my point being,
one of the things
show both and when the difference that you can hear, that might just be an easy way for somebody to say, oh, okay, I get it. It's a little bit different. From going straight up versus up.
I know exactly what to do. If I were to stand at the side of my system here, you could hear the sound go directly up. And if I stand to the side of my system at home, you'll hear it going across the room.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So that should be easy enough to record a what do you call it? Record a binaural demo because my room upstairs has all kinds of problems. So it's not a binaural recording up there, you're going to hear more out of the left side surround than you will anything else, because that's what I hear, because it's so close. Whereas here, everything's more balanced. So it's a bit unfair. You know, like I was saying, like, you know, we should have, you know, a room or a booth or whatever at Cedia, and I know it's going to be at in where is it, Mike? Is in Colorado, right?
Which one?
Cedia.
Yeah, it's going to be in, I think, Denver,
right? So I remember it was at the convention center last time, and they have rooms downstairs. Then that would be perfect. We can just set up a side view. We could even do an augmented reality shot of the thing on an iPad, so you can see what's actually happening, you know, and do like maybe 2 AVRs, but just so we can do a quick swap over.
Mark T saying, next topic, please. Hold on. I'm not done yet. So
to just display the situation, because we need to know. I want to know what's going on, you know?
Okay, so listen. One last thing I want to say about this is the comment that a lot of people make, which is, well, isn't your DSP supposed to fix that, right? Isn't it supposed to make it sound the same? And it can help by adding delays and levels. But the problem is that, I've said it before, you can tell where a speaker is. You know, we have binaural hearing. We can tell where the source of sound is. We understand the reflections, how long it takes to get from one ear to the other ear. So we know that the speaker's close and not further away. And that's it. And so you can't fix that currently. There might be some stuff in the future that will be able to trick your brain better. But as of right now, our DSP just isn't that sophisticated. Right. And I don't know I don't even know psychoacoustically and physically if it's possible. But as of right now, it cannot account for that. So that's it. Right. That's it.
If there's a sound over here in the green and you don't have a speaker there that can cover that area, then you're not going to hear that sound where it was placed by the content creator. That's really the idea here.
Yeah. So Reverend Slim, I think we're in agreement with most of the stuff. And I think what we're trying to do is not to say, you know, oh, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. It's just, this is what is happening. Okay. It shouldn't make you upset for us to tell you that this is what is happening. If you want to change your system, okay, cool. If you don't, then that's okay too, right? It doesn't matter. We're just kind of we're comparing notes.
I just ordered another pair of these speakers to do a mid on ceiling to see what that's like. And
are we boring you, Michael? You said he's trimming his phone. What's boring?
Dude, I just tease it, dude. I'm having fun with the people in the chat.
Oh, okay, good.
It's hilarious. I'm just.
I mean, some like I crossed the line attacking Brad Pitt, unsubscribed. You know, there's a lot of. You know, I do want to answer this.
Some funny stuff.
Peter says, in the future, don't ask to participate in an experiment if you already the answer. If you know already the answer or looking for things to validate your conclusion in your country, please be transparent in the ask. But here's the thing, though, Peter. And I wish Aaron was here because I know he'd back me up on this. And I need to change my battery because my video is going to go out. A lot of people in this whole hobby think they can hear much better than they actually can, and that is also an issue in this thing because sound is subjective. And if I want to be angry and be a complete dick, I literally make a living with my hearing, like literally every fucking weekend, day in, day out. And they're paying a $bucks for these.
In all fairness, it doesn't mean that you can hear, though.
What's that?
It doesn't mean you can hear.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
what's that? What? I didn't hear that.
And you know what?
I mean, you know, when my wife is talking, I totally pretend like I can't hear.
Aren't you supposed to come in with a hypothesis, though? You're supposed to come in with an idea of what is happening, and the experiment is to, you know, verify if it's true or if it's not true.
Ike even mentioned that in the comment, like one or two after that.
He said that too. You're supposed to come in with a specific hypothesis, but I do agree that it's good to be transparent and say, hey, this is what I think.
Yeah.
But I think that's the problem, though, is if he says this is what I think is supposed to happen, that may be like priming somebody.
It could,
thinking so, like, oh, that if that's how it's supposed to be, that's what I hear. You know what I mean? So it's tricky. Anyway, we can move on. Yeah. See, now we can move on. After every Monday podcast, we have an after show. If you're interested in joining us, go to patreon.com/Daily HiFi.